Lethal autonomous weapons. The United States ought to ban lethal autonomous weapons.
Okay, when I first got your text for this, I thought it said automatic, which we literally just did in PF, what, 2 years ago?
2, 3, I don't remember. But it was like, I mean, it's gun law is gun law. I mean, you're either arguing lives, you're arguing safety, or you're arguing freedom, and you're arguing individual rights, and so on.
Right.
And everyone misreads the Second Amendment. So everybody's grumpy.
Yeah, and that just goes to show, because like I thought it was automatic. I'm like, great, we're just gonna have a PF resolution and LD again.
Nope.
But it's not like that. It's
Not
autonomous, right? And when you sort of explain that to me, I swear, I just watched the movie, the best movie ever in my opinion, Despicable Me 1, with my mom and my sister. And the funniest character by far is Vector, who's like this super nerdy guy, except he just has a ton of money, so he's a good criminal and whatever. He stole the pyramid. And his house, his fortress, is full of weapons.
Lethal autonomous weapons.
Exactly. He has like this massive like heat ray that he uses. He's got all these heat-seeking missiles, which granted he has to sort of press the button, but I'm sure he has automated stuff as well. And that's what I thought of when he said lethal autonomous weapons.
That's not too far from reality. Because like I did just a tiny bit of research. Turns out the Congressional Research Service has a 2-page briefing doc on this. Currently, this is not really a developed tech. It's coming soon to a country near you. Weapons that will kill you without human oversight. But we're literally like, it cited another white paper that talked about, quote, killer robots in an official governmental report. Killer robots.
Yeah, that's just so concerning to think. Like, imagine if the government had its own fleet of robot police. It would literally operate off of code. It's like, if person does X, then shoot, right? It's that simple. It's just like you're just following this little, like, you know, I don't know. What would you write? Java robots, JavaScript, Python robots? Who knows? C++? Like, I don't know what language these things are going to operate in, but that's scary. Like, there's just no room. There's no gray area, which granted may not be a bad thing, like in theory, but it's just there's too many extenuating circumstances in real life. I feel like
I'm still stuck on like we're now in the era of science fiction becoming reality because I grew up on the old X-Men cartoon TV show with Terminator robots. That's literally what they were. It's automated weapons. I just finished watching a Mandalorian episode that featured an assassin droid that basically is what we're talking about. I mean, the idea here is automated weapons, whether we're talking tanks or drones or turrets placed on top of a tower that are programmed to operate. And honestly, I think this is a great LD resolution. There's not a clear anti-communist divide like there is on the federal jobs guarantee. It's not a socialist one. This one has great access to a decent amount of philosophy.
Yes, exactly. And now I don't have to feel as bad going to college wanting a philosophy major because maybe there'll be jobs for me in lethal autonomous weapons. I could be an ethicist, right? I could help write the code except know nothing about computers.
Kind of.
I'll just be like the useless guy in the corner that just like says he knows something.
You say useless. I mean, that literally, this has a huge philosophy and ethics component because, I mean, if you're part of there's a Department of Defense order that we'll read for our official episode that we'll do on this, I'm sure, but it literally talks about the need for defining exactly who oversees these programs and how much oversight is required for them because, I mean, the Army really doesn't want Terminator. They don't want Cyberdyne to take over the world. Right. They don't want to do that. But then there's also, at the same time, there's like the arms race potential here. I mean, if Russia gets this first, are we necessitated, like, do we have to have this too?
Yeah, I think my brain is going a little too science fiction now. I'm imagining like a Russian sea monster, like because it's got a mind of its own, right? It's this autonomous weapon that just like devours American ships or whatever at sea.
Oh, there's a great biopower argument in there somewhere about if you create autonomous life and it's a weapon, is that a lethal autonomous weapon?
Are y'all thinking about objectivity? I'm thinking about objectivity, right? Like just having defense systems in place, maybe. Like I guess there's a good argument to be made. Like this is not an offensive sort of thing, but a defensive sort of thing, and you don't need to deal with human biases, even though there's also the argument that some people make that the people who made the code are biased, the code is biased, like we can't get away from ourselves in that way.
Well, before our official episode, I'm sure we'll read something about the racist underpinnings of AI. Like I've seen a couple articles on that. There's a lot to do with this resolution, so I'm quite happy. We'll have to tell Crawford that he and the committee did a good job wording that one or picking that one and as they developed it.
Yes, we're kicking off the year with some not socialist, not commie stuff, like whatever. We're gonna have some fun with this one. It's a little bit of an offshoot. I think it's a great way to end 2020.
Well, there's our very quick. We just hit 5 minutes.
Perfect.
So,
Cool.
Just in case anybody actually does listen to this very short episode, kind of expressing our excitement to see nerdy things in debate, Ethan, where can people get in touch with us?
Guys, you can find us at www.whatstheres.com and make sure if you have any questions, comments, concerns, feedback, you want to roast us, whatsttheres@gmail.com, whatsttheres@gmail.com, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Reddit at whatsttheres_. And until the next episode, work hard, speak well, and seek the truth.